STMLT, or Stimulate, as I've been told it's short for. I mean, it's a really cool name in a weird way, because at first you think that is so awkward, that's such a mouthful, but when you come to think about it, it's like, it's not a name you're going to forget. And to be honest, well, after you hear their music, you're not going to forget it as well. Obviously, I did a reaction to Anti-Mental before. I really want to get into this band, but I was told to check out the song EVOL I guess it's EVOL AI, could be AI technology, or more like AI as in the word I, which means love in Japan. Who knows? I have been told, though, and this is one of the things that really fascinated me, as much as I'm excited about the future of STMLT, I'm a big fan of the fact that there's a lot of genre blurring going on in Japan. That's one of the things that most attracts me, you know, the writing ethic, so much about it, but the fact that there's no restriction on genres. Now, I believe this song is from a previous lineup of the band where they had a saxophonist. I might be wrong on this. I think that's what I was told. Anyway, I was told to check this song out. I don't really know what to expect, partly because this band obviously are really into throwing up surprises, but also because of the fact that there might be some very different musical stuff going on this. I've been told that they've gone over a lot of different genres. Look, this is just exactly the sort of thing that, as someone who values songwriting above all else, this is the kind of stuff that excites the shit out of me. So I'm really excited to check that out. And by the way, if you are into like music that like blurs genres, do please feel free to check out this music video that I directed with two local Tokyo artists. We wrote the song together. ASSUN from Castella Park, Otto from Caramel Candid. Links in the description below. After we've checked this out, please do check that out as well. It's I think you'll like it. I really do. And if you're into, well, at least from what I've gathered of STMLT, I think if you like them, you might like, although our song's not quite as heavy, I think you'll like it. Genre blurring. Anyway, let's check this out. EVOL AI. Well, it's certainly got the rock down still. Oh, God. The sound is big and thick. She's a fantastic singer, by the way. We mentioned this before. This really has one hell of a hit to it. I'm gonna be honest, like, the whole production, the whole mix of this really hits. I'm glad we're getting to hear more of her vocal range in this song than we did in Anti-Mental, actually. It's a lot more focused on her. And she's really got a great voice. Harpsichord breakdown. I'm there for it. I like it. It hits just when you want it to hit as well. And the scream stuff is well integrated in this as well. It gives impact when it's needed. It's not just gratuitously there for the sake of it. Ooh, okay. Loving that lo-fi beat and the... Ooh. This is a very good headbanger, isn't it? See what I mean? The shouting is just there for impact, punch, where it needs to be. Harpsichord! Give the invisible harpsichordist a raise. Oh! I forgot they actually have a keyboard player in this band. My bad. My bad. Oh, okay. I'm probably not going to give the review that most people would expect me to give on this. All right, so let's just be 100% on this first of all. I know sometimes I get a little bit of a stick for the fact that I'm a bit picky with heavier bands. I really like heavy music, but I'm a bit picky because there's so many bands doing heavy. That, you know, I think you've got to do something to rise to the top. And, you know, Japanese bands, especially, like I said, have been excellent at that. But I'm always looking, now there's like such a precedent for high quality genre blurring heavy music in Japan. You know, it's always interesting to see bands who really set themselves apart with both innovation and quality. Now, this looks like it's the same lineup from Anti-Mental. Someone let me know again. Completely forgot they had a keyboard player, and the keyboard player was one of my favourite things from Anti-Mental. My bad. And they even showed her before I said what I said. But anyway, love it. She added harpsichord. This is why you've got to have a keyboard player in your band. Doesn't matter what genre you do, have a keyboard player, because they can make any sound appear in your song. Any sound. Fucking love that. It's okay. So right, let's be clear about this. There's a few things going for this. Now, I have to say, first of all, that just on paper, the way the song's written, it is obviously quite a straight hard rock meets metal sort of song, but it does everything right in the details. Now, a big credit I have to give to the mix and production. The song has a very sort of clean sound to it. I don't mean that as negative way, I don't mean that as sterile, I mean as polished. You know, the guitars are quite thick and compressed, but in that sort of good way, the way they've got a sort of a chonk to them. And, yeah, they really sort of have power to them. But that effectiveness particularly works as well because there's a lot of gating. Now, gating is a thing where basically it's like your instrument's almost on a binary setting where it's either loud or it's off. So the sound sort of like you play a note, bam, and then off it stops. And that gives you this very sudden impact to everything you play. And there was a lot of that going on there. The drums were nicely mixed. Yeah, the kick had that thing where it's a little bit high up in the mix that I'm not always a big fan of. You know, when it's, I mean like high up in the EQ where it's a little bit trebly. But that was fine. It wasn't an issue here. Everything had bite. Everything had punch. And as a result, regardless of what they played, which I'll get onto in a second, it's just the fact that everything really had impact. And you felt like you wanted to headbang, whereas sometimes you hear bands where they're like really just dirty, loud, and it doesn't have the same thing. Here, it's like there's those gated guitars, the fact that when the guitar's not playing full volume, it's off, stuff like that. The fact that the drums had real bite, so, you know, they really, every single note, you really felt it. It was very sudden. All of that gave everything impact, so you had spaces between the notes that you could feel. There was that sort of push and pull to everything, you know. It's not just loud. It's like you can really sort of feel a rhythm amongst it all. A lot of the impact, a lot of the heaviness comes from the rhythm, from having those spaces between the notes where you go quiet, loud. Anyway, you get my point. So the production and mix have to be credit for this. It was really good. The singer, again, I think she's got a great voice. I compared her a little bit to Sue Metal from Babe Metal, which was not just sort of like picking a generic, you know, famous Japanese metal singer. It's more the fact that there is that thing that she does have a voice that she seems to have a similar vocal range to Sue Metal from Babe Metal, but it's also the fact that she has this voice which is clearly obviously more what we'd expect from a pop singer, but so well conveys it into this metal setting to give melody, to convey emotion, and she's got great range as well, which we heard much more in this song, going up to, you know, getting those high notes, going down a little bit lower, sort of, yeah, there's a lot of range here in her vocal performance, I felt at least, which was really great, both emotionally and, you know, melodically as well. The lass who does the scream vocals, less of her in this song, but I like, again, in the previous song, Anti-Mental, I thought she was fantastic, the way she went between rap and the scream, and they used her so well. But I think some of these bands sometimes, you know, yeah, they can appeal a lot to, there's a lot of heavier fans, especially internationally, who encourage these bands, and as a result, sometimes the bands tend to veer heavy as their careers go on because they get invited to metal festivals and stuff like this. And so sometimes when you've got a band like this, the one who does the screaming can become by far the most popular one. Think Hanabiya. I love Hanabiya, but I mean, I love Matsuri as much as Yukina, and Yukina gets the vast majority of the vocals. And, you know, so, and more she's doing like scream vocals, which again is fine, but that's like, I feel they can veer that way. I love the fact that in this song, you know, just for variation, you know, we had the last song, Anti-Mental, great, although that I think came out afterwards. Anti-Mental, you know, you had a lot of the scream vocals. In this song, you had less of it, that variation. But where she did appear in this song, she was giving like that punch, that power. Every time she appeared, it was great. She was in a right place in the mix as well, where she was like not just turned up to 11 for no reason. You know, she was in the mix alongside everything else, and the power of her vocals gave the energy. That was great. Everything about this just really felt impactful. You know, a good thick underlying bass line as well, just sort of like really powering everything along, giving you that headbang effect again. This was a lot of fun. It's the sort of thing where on paper, I would say, okay, that looks good, but in execution, this felt excellent. And I'm really happy because a lot of the time you get these bands come along who are really, really a big deal, and sometimes I'm not so much into them. And there'll be some bands where people are like, oh, Howard, why are you not covering this? And the truth is, it's just, I'm just not that into it. And I'm always honest in my reviews. And so if I'm not into something, I'm not going to like keep on reviewing it because I don't want to just sort of like crap on something that people like. But when I hear bands like this, yeah, I'm there for it. I'm still looking forward to hearing. Did they have a lineup with a saxophonist? I'm pretty sure they did. I'm still looking forward to hearing that, just out of curiosity, because I want to know. But I'm there for it. 2 songs down, I'm really enjoying it, and credit to them. They might not be the most identifiably unique sonically. It's not like they're doing something that no one's ever done before, but they've got little bits of things that are familiar. Like I say, the singer reminds me a bit of what Sue Metal does. The scream artist, she reminds me a little bit of what Yukina from Hanabiya does, you know, with the scream, but also occasionally throwing into rap. The instrumental stuff in the background, it's got a little bit of a Trident vibe. These are all things that I really love. I'm loving seeing them being put together. I'm loving the execution. I'm loving it all. It's really good. I hope that I continue to enjoy it. Obviously, I've heard what I think are their 2 most famous singles thus far. So, starting on the popular stuff. But I'm looking forward to diving down into the rabbit hole with this STMLT. Really great. I'm really glad I'm enjoying it. So anyway, those are my thoughts. As always, get into the comments. Tell me what you think. But most importantly, remember to check out this video that I did. Because, please, I hope you like it. Please support them. If you do, leave nice comments for the girls as well. Because they worked really hard on this. It took a long time to do. And, yeah, we're really... Any support, encouragement for them. I'm trying to encourage upcoming Japanese artists. So please go show them some love and show them some support. And anyway, until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now... Ciao, ciao.